Hi everyone, it's Bethany, and in this tutorial we are going to be making some really cute little pajama shirts, and I thought it would be really fun to pull out some of the fun HTV that I was showing you guys in a previous video. So if you missed it, I did a video on a bunch of fun HTV and vinyl patterns. So I got some glitter, I got a lot of prints and patterns, and if you missed it, I'll go ahead and put it up here so you can see there's a lot of fun things that I got in that box, and it's just so pretty. So one of them that I was just really had all the heart eyes for was this really pretty glitter iron-on. So we're going to use this today. Isn't this pretty? I think my girls are going to love this. So we are going to use this iron-on. So we're going to use a glitter, and then we're going to pair it with a solid iron-on, and we are going to make a little design on this shirt that's actually pre-made. So the reason I decided on making this whole project was because I saw a design in Design Space, and that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from. Is I'll just be browsing the little SVGs in there and I'll see something, and the one that caught my eye for this project, I just thought immediately, that is so us, that's so cute. So I definitely had to make it for the girls. So that's what we'll be working on today. So I have two shirts. These are just little Cat and Jack shirts. I got them from Target. They're nice plain white shirts. I did pre-wash them, so they're all ready to go. We're going to use a brayer tool just to get our material down on the mat nice and smooth, and then a weeding tool and some scissors. I'm also going to measure out my design and my workspace as in the shirt area. So I'm going to do that real quick. So I'm starting with the little 2T. This 2T, I am going to make, my design is circular in nature, so we are going to have it be 4.5 inches, obviously by 4.5 inches, and then I'm going to bump that up a little bit for the 4T, and I'm going to make it 5 by 5, so it'll be perfect. We're also going to be using the 9x9 EasyPress. If you are new to the EasyPress or you are considering getting one, I did an unboxing of the larger one, so I'll put that up in the corner too, just in case you want a little bit more information about how to get started with that. So we're going to use the EasyPress today to get everything ironed on, and I'll bring out the mat in just a little bit. But other than that, we are all set. If I do mention anything else in the video or bring any other craft things onto the table, I'll be sure to link them down below, so make sure you're always looking at that description box, because if you want to know how to bring this whole project together and what materials are used, I will list everything down there. All right, I'm really excited to get showing you guys all of the pieces of this design that are going to come together to bring it together, and I'm really excited to use this glitter. So let's go ahead and pop into Design Space, and I will show you where we're going to go with this. Okay, so both of the elements that we're going to use to bring this design together are both pre-made designs. So we're going to go over here to the images, and we're going to click, and we are going to look at Star Wreath is the first one. And let's see. Oh, this is cute too. I think this is the one I decided on, but that is sure darling as well. I'm going to go ahead and do this one, I think. Oh, goodness. Oh, I changed my mind. I'm going to do this one. It's just so cute. Okay, so you can choose either one. So I think this is my original design, but I think this is just so sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and change it up and do this one. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to actually go back in there real quick, and I'm going to grab another one that says just one more story. And it's right here. It's really cute. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and insert that. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to just kind of play around with this and size it. And then I will duplicate it for my second. So again, we're making two shirts, so I'm just going to start with my first. So I can go ahead and color code this. So the stars are going to be out of that glitter, and then the just one more story is going to be out of that teal. So this is close enough. I think that's going to be super cute. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I'm super excited. All right, so now let me go ahead and just snag both of these real quick, and I am going to size this down to, let's do the littlest first. So I'm going to do that 5.5. So it's just about a perfect square. We have 4.5, sorry, it's a 4.5 size. So we have 4.5 by a little bit bigger than 4.5. So it's just about a square, but not quite, but close enough. Now that both of these are selected, what we're going to do is come over here and click duplicate. And then we're just going to drag this over. And we are going to size the second one up because that other shirt is just a little bit bigger and it could stand just a little bit more in size. And we're going to do 5 by 5. So I'm just a hair over, but that's perfect enough. So that is what that little design looks like. Okay. It. Okay, so now we're going to be using the maker today. You can do this on any cutting machine. So we're just going to use the maker because it was on my table. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And now what we're going to do is we are just going to click make it. And now we're going to get, let's see, I think I'm just going to, I can't bring that in anymore. Okay, so I'm going to just bring this over just a little bit to give myself a little bit of cutting space. And then we are going to mirror this image because we are doing iron-on or HTV. So whenever you're working with iron-on or HTV, you're going to mirror your image. And then we're going to click on the second one. Let's mirror it real quick. And then I'm just going to pull that out just a little, just to give myself a little bit more room in between. Okay, now I'll go ahead and click continue. I'm going to double check that they're both mirrored because I have to check a million times. It's one of my things that I just double check because if you cut it and it's not mirrored, then you have just wasted your material and it's such a stinker. So now it's just going to locate my maker. Okay, so we will be cutting the glitter first. So what we're going to do is we are going to browse all materials and we are going to go to iron-on. Let's scroll down here. And we are going to do glitter iron-on. Okay, now once we are done cutting the glitter iron-on and we go to cut the teal, we are going to come back into design space and we are going to select everyday iron-on. So you're going to want to make sure that you do reselect your material. So glitter iron-on is first and we're going to click done. And then we're going to go ahead and do default pressure. Everything else is perfect and we'll go ahead and load that. So now before I click out of here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, this is where I purchased my glitter iron-on. And the other one I'm using is Caesar EasyWeed, so they have their settings here as well. So for the EasyWeed, the teal, we are going to look up our heat settings here. We're going to use 305 for 10 to 15 seconds, and it's a hot or cold peel with medium pressure while we are heating our material. And then with the glitter, we're just going to go down here to glitter, and we are going to do 320. So we're going to have a change in temperature, and we're going to do 10 to 15 seconds, warm peel, and firm pressure. So I'm going through this because it's going to show me the order that I'm going to place my material on the shirt and the order I'm going to press it. So I'm going to do my glitter first because my glitter is at a hotter temperature. So we're going to do that. We're going to cool down the machine and then we are going to add our Caesar EasyWeed second. So the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want to have my Caesar EasyWeed down on my shirt and then have my temperature go up because the Caesar EasyWeed requires us a cooler temperature. So that's how we're going to do that. And we're going to go ahead and get everything loaded on the mat and get everything cut and bring these shirts together. Okay, so I have my mat and I have my glitter that's going down first. So when you place it down, you are going to do your pattern or your shiny side on the mat, and then, so that's going to be face down, and then the other side will be face up. So that's how we're going to put that on there. And this is a brand new mat, so that has some stick to it. So I'm going to go ahead and get that on there the best that I can. Okay, and then I'm just going to use my brayer tool and just roll that down, and then we can go ahead and load our machine. So now we can press the flashing arrow button. I think these colors are going to go really well together. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. And then the Cricut button will flash when it's ready to start cutting, so we can go ahead and select that. And now this is going to do the star borders. I'm really excited. It's going to look super, super pretty. So while that is cutting, what I'm going to do is I am going to bring my EasyPress in And I am going to get it all preheated. So we're going to do the glitter first. So again, it says that we need to preheat to 320. So I'm going to click the temperature button and bump that up with the plus arrows to 320. And then it says we're going to do it for, let's see, 10 to 15 seconds. So I'm going to click the timer button and I'm going to decrease that to 15 seconds. And then when the Cricut little guy right over here is red, but when he is all preheated and ready to go and at our desired temperature, he will turn green and give a really cute little chime, so we'll be all set. Okay, so in the meantime, this one is done. And what I'm gonna do is, oh, that looks cute. I'm going to peel this up. That is a new mat, my goodness. I always love a new mat. It's so fun. Okay, and then I'm going to lay the second one down. And remember, I'm going to go into my design space real quick, and I'm going to make sure I change my settings to everyday iron on. That is the closest, in my opinion, for the Caesar Easy Weed, so it's a great setting. Okay, perfect. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and load this and then I'll set the settings. Okay, so that is cutting, and now what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and cut off all of my extra here so I can save my scraps. And I also pulled out my Truth Control knife because I'm going to cut out the middle of these little reeds because I want to save some of that iron-on that's in the middle because that is a substantial amount that I think I can use in another project. So I'm just grabbing my little Truth Control knife here and I am just going to cut out as much as I can. Okay, so here's the first one, and that's a big piece. That's a lot of iron-on, so it's really worth it to go ahead and just cut that out and save it. So I'm going to do the same for the second one, and our EasyPress is all preheated. And you want to be careful because it's a little hard to see your cut lines. So you just want to make sure you're not cutting into your design. Okay, perfect. Okay, let me go ahead and just zoom in a little bit and you guys can watch me weed out this glitter iron-on. Okay, so I have my little desktop trash bin here ready to go, and I'm just going to go ahead and start weeding this iron-on. Okay. I'm going to go nice and slow. Those stars are a little bit small, but they're doing just fine. But it's better just to go slow and be safe. How pretty. I'm really glad I saw this different heart border. I think this is so cute. Let's see, did it grab all of mine on that? It did, okay. Did it? Oh yes, that one just looks a little different. Okay. Had a little heart attack. I thought I didn't bring one up. Or I thought I didn't grab a star, but it's in there. Okay. That is weeding so easy. You guys know, oops, sorry, that I don't love glitter in a loose form because it's just a mess and a half, but this is gorgeous. And it's contained mess, so I can handle this little sparkle. And the girls are going to love it, so. Okay. Perfect. Wow. And then that is what it looks like. It's kind of hard to see right now, but once we get on those white shirts, it's going to really pop. Okay, so I'll set that aside a little and then unload my machine here and we will weed our little text out. Oh, those are cute. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing just with my scissors and save as much scrap material as I can. I love Caesar Easy Weed. It's so nice to work with. Plus, they have amazing colors. There's so many fun ones. I think this one is usually on my shopping cart or in my shopping cart no matter what I'm buying because I just love this color. and it can be paired with so many things. So I can't remember the name of it, but I'll link it below. Gosh, is it C? It might be C, but I'll double check. Make sure you check the box below, and after I'm done here, I will make sure to double check the color. It's super, super pretty though. Oh, you know what I have is I have the little, oh, that's the iron-on, or that was the vinyl. I have the little swatches. Oh, it's this one. Okay, so it is C. I was right. Okay. I got these from 651vinyl.com. There are the color swatches for the HTV, and then they have another one for their 651 vinyl. So it's really helpful because it helps me pick colors. Because sometimes I feel like when you're looking on the computer, you can't really tell very easily what the color is going to look like in person. So I invested in the swatches just so I could see in real life before I ordered, and it's been really worth it. Okay. All right, so now I'm just going to weed out the centers of a few of these. And we'll be all set. So I have my trash can here, and then I'm setting things off to the side. Oh, goodness. Okay. Okay, so I'm just finishing up my last few little middle pieces. And I love this project because there's the end. How cute. That's so cute. I love this project because everything was a pre-made design, so you just went in real quick and sized everything, and it was all ready to go. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut these apart and place them with their corresponding wreaths. That way they are all ready to go. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get the mat out and get to pressing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and preheat my shirt a little bit, and this is just going to help take all the wrinkles out and then take any moisture out that may have been in the shirt. Get it all ready. Okay, and now you only have to do that for about 5 seconds. Now what I'm going to do is, this is my 4 t-shirts, so I'm going to grab my bigger of the 2 designs, and again we're going to do the glitter first. So I'm going to set that down. So sparkly and cute. Okay, I'm going to go about 2 inches, I think, from that top collar. So let's go up just a little hair. And there really isn't a top or bottom. It's just kind of however you want to, with a wreath, it's kind of just however you want to arrange it. So that is about 2 inches. That looks good. And let's just check from the sides. It's looking good to my eye, but that's about 3 inches. And that is a little more. I guess I could bring that over just a hair without ruining everything here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we're still at 2. We are at 3 1/4, and we are at 3 1/8. So I'm going with it. Okay. That is good to go. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to press that at 320 for 15 seconds. So that's what the glitter is, and it says firm pressure. So it says 10 to 15 seconds. So we're going to go ahead and hit the start button, and we are going to just put muscle into it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and press that second shirt, because we need to make sure that all the glitter is done at the same time before we decrease the temperature of our EasyPress and do the solid, just the Caesar Easy Bead. So we are going to just set this aside, because this is a warm peel. So we'll just set it aside. Once you take your shirt off of the heat mat, this little mat here, it really cools fast. So we'll check that in just a second. But let's go ahead and do the exact same thing with this shirt. So we are going to straighten that little cutie out. Okay, and then we're going to preheat that, get any moisture and wrinkles all taken care of. Okay, grab our glitter layer and place. Okay, this one I might do a little bit higher up just because it's a littler shirt. So I'm at about, oh, I think I'm still at 2 inches. Well, that looks good. So, oh no, I'm going to stay at 2 inches because that looks really good. Okay, so 2 inches, and then I'm at 3 1/4, and I'm at 3 1/8. Oh my gosh, it's literally the same as the other one. So I'm going for it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set that, press, firm pressure, putting all of my mama strength into it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set that back in its base, and then let's go ahead, and this has cooled, so we'll go ahead and see if we can peel this. Oh, it looks awesome. Just making sure everything's down, and it is. Okay. Looks good. Okay, so that is the first little layer. So now what we're going to do is we are going to decrease the temperature. Well, I really want to check this one first. I mean, I know that theoretically it should be fine, but let's check this one in just a second just to make sure that we don't need to repress or anything, but these look really good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and check this, and it's peeling up really nice. Okay, so all of those pieces are down. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and decrease my temperature. So I'm going to click the temperature button. I am going to click the minus button and decrease that to 105. And then I am going to leave this one because the it says 10 to 15 seconds on the directions, so we are just fine. So we're just going to wait for that to cool just a minute, and then it will beep when it's all ready. And in the meantime, I can go ahead and just start placing and measuring. Actually, I don't even need to measure on this because I can just base it, you know, with my eye, and I'm just centering it within that star wreath. And I see a little tiny piece of scrap easy weed, so that is a good conversation point. So if you have any of your little pieces that you like a middle that you weeded out, if anything didn't get off and is on your shirt, it will iron down. So make sure you kind of do a little once over and get those off so that you don't have any mistakes. Okay. That looks great. Okay, and I'll put that one on in just a second. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my protective sheet here because I now have HTV or iron-on that is exposed, and you don't want to place your heat press on exposed iron-on, so you want that to be protected. So I'm going to go ahead, and that looks good, and I'm going to set this right on top of it so it protects that iron-on and protects my iron. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this on top. It's at 305. I'm going to set the timer. It says 10 to 15 seconds. It says medium pressure. Okay. And then what I'm going to do while I have this here is I am going to, when you go to take these off, make sure you bring or touch at the corners because this is really hot and I have burned myself before and it is not fun. So go ahead and touch at the corners to take that off. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to just turn this over and press for 10 to 15 seconds on the back. It doesn't say on the directions to do that, but it's kind of become a habit of mine to do it. So if you don't like to do that, then skip this part. But I just have gotten in a habit of doing it just to really make sure. So we're going to go ahead and set this to the side. This says hot or cold peel, but I'm just going to let it sit. And I'm going to opt for a cool peel on that. Okay, and the little tiny one is back on scene. Grab the little middle I love how these colors came together. It's so cute. Okay. And go ahead and I'll get ready to press. Okay. And again, grabbing at the corners and carefully removing that hot sheet, flipping, and one more for good measure. Okay. So now I'm just going to let this cool down. Again, removing that mat. This retains a lot of heat, so if you remove that and just place this on a cool surface, it cools down really quick. In fact, if you place your hands on the material, of course, if it's cool enough to touch, you can feel the heat just being pulled out of it. It's really interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and let that cool down, and I'll go ahead and zoom in so you guys can really see as I peel off the final sheet. Okay, so they are all ready. So I'm just going to start at a corner and peel, and I'm going to watch really closely and make sure that there are no pieces that are, you know, not peeling up, or sorry, that are not laying down. So I want to make sure that everything is perfect. Looks good. So if for some reason you notice anything is peeling up with your sheet and is not laying down on the surface, so what you will do is just keep the sheet, place it right back over, and then you'll repress, of course, covering your other exposed HTV. You want to make sure everything is covered, but just keep these sheets and make sure that you use them to repress, and a repress will help just lay that down and problem will be solved. And then this one, double checking as well. I want to make sure that I didn't just notice anything. No, I think it was the light or something. Looks like it is down. Yeah, okay. Okay. And that looks good as well. Oh, they're so cute. I love how the colors turned out, and I love how those stars just really sparkle. That's really, really fun. It's just subtle enough. It's subtle enough for someone who is tiptoeing into glitter like I am, but it is so sweet. I think they're going to love these. This will be really fun. Okay, so if you enjoyed this, if you're excited about just getting into some fun glitter materials and doing some new projects, please make sure you give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think of the craft. Let me know if you guys have worked with glitter HTV, also known as glitter iron-on. Let me know if you've worked with that before and what you have made. I would love to hear about it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had fun. This was my first glitter iron-on project, so I'm really excited about it. I like how it turned out, and I think I'm being converted slowly into the glittering world, so this will be really fun. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know in the comments, and I will also leave a link to that heat guide that I was using on the computer, just in case you guys want to reference that as well if you do buy products from that website, because it's very helpful to do that and use their heat guide as well. So, all right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you all in the next video.